Hello, everyone. I'm here today to show you some basic troubleshooting steps for sending and receiving issues in your SMS platform. Some of these are very basic, but there are also some new updates that we can use. Then you might be able to use that for identifying your sending and receiving issues. Now, let's go ahead and start. The next few steps are both applicable in the cloud and decentralized version. So, step number one, always double check your phone numbers. I know it sounds quite silly and funny, but sometimes we just forget that we are lacking some one digit numbers there, or maybe the country code is incorrect, not in the right format, like for example in manual here. So always double check your phone numbers. Step number two, check the SMS logs. Now, where do you check that one out? So if you're in your account, you can click this tiny message symbol here in the upper right and click on view all, and it would route you to the logs page, and you can change that in the SMS inbox here, or maybe on the single SMS outbox if you're sending out messages. And you would see some error messages here, and that would give you an answer of why the message did not go through. You just hover your mouse on this icon and it would just tell you why it did not go through. So that's really helpful for you to know. There's also one way to check the logs. If you're here in the dashboard, either in cloud or decentralized, just scroll down at almost at the bottom. You would see that statistics here about sent and SMS received. You can click this one, for example, and it would show you the logs page. All right, now step number three is to check your settings. You can check that in your account right here in the upper right corner of your name and click on settings. There are some settings here that might cause you issues in sending or receiving SMS. For example, the email to SMS and SMS to email here. If it's turned on, it would cause for your SMS to go to your email. And we haven't perfectly made this work yet. Usually it would go to the SMS email account instead. So make sure that this is turned off. All right, now step number four is to check the calendar of activities. Now, there are some times that you might have sent the message in advance in another date. So that's why you're wondering why it was not able to go through. So you can check the calendar of activities here on your left panel, right here, and you would see the messages. So the green one means that it's been sent over, and perhaps maybe the message that you were looking for is found in another date, like this one, December 15, and you can click on it and it's colored blue. That means it hasn't been sent yet. So that's why maybe you're wondering why it wasn't sent over. And you can check that, double check that by if you're going to send a message, there's a scheduled delivery here. For example, by group, right? There's a scheduled delivery. And, sometimes you might have misclick and it caused you to wonder why you're not able to send the message out. But actually, it's just stuck there in the calendar of activities because it's not been scheduled to send out yet. Right? Right. So for the next few steps is mostly just applicable in the centralized version. So step number five is to check your gateway ID key. Now you can find that here in your account and go to get started and then SMPP connect third party gateway provider. So if you're using an Android phone and SIM card, it's important that your gateway ID key is existing in here. And you can find that by going to the SMS gateway right here. And if you open that up, it's going to open this one and gateway API. You just copy this key and paste it over here. This should not be empty because this is the key that connects this decentralized dashboard going to your gateway. So if it's missing, then if you send a message from here, from the dashboard gateway to the gateway, it would not go over to the gateway, right? And step number seven is to check the gateway profile settings. So you can find that here in gateway and then gateway profile. And there are settings here that might cause for you to not to receive any messages. So for this one, for example, if this one is checked, send receive messages to your email, and this is actually not gonna messages that you're supposed to receive is not gonna go through your phone or in the gateway or in the decentralized dashboard, but instead into your email directly. So that's why you might be wondering why I'm not receiving the messages, because actually this was turned on. And then also check the sleep timer here. This could cause you issues when sending out messages, because if the sleep timer is turned on in a specific time, and you might forget that you actually have it set in a specific day or time of the day, and it's not going to let you send out the messages. So make sure to check these two out. All right, so step number 8 is try sending a message in the gateway. You can send the message here in the gateway by going to multiple device sender, and this is just really to isolate um, your sending of messages. So if you can send a message here but not in the decentralized dashboard here, then you can immediately isolate that there's a problem in sending a message from this point. So you can now then try to go to our first step, which is, or the second step, which is checking the logs, right? That way you'd know if why it's not going through from here to the gateway um, in single SMS outbox right here. That's the steps that you need to check. All right, so step number 9 is to try sending an SMS using the stock SMS app of your Android phone. So with this one, we're really gonna have to take the SMS app out of the picture. So you can either turn off your Wi-Fi or internet connection, or log out of the SMS app totally, and then just try sending out a message from your stock SMS app, the app that came with the phone. That way, we would know if it's there's just an issue in the both carriers from your phone going to your recipient. Because if it doesn't send at all, and we're not using the SMS app, that means it's out of the SMS gateway or connection already. It's just between the connection or sending from your carrier to the other recipient. Simple as that. All right, so that's basically the all the steps that we needed, but we do have some new updates here. So first of all, we're getting some reports about customers not able to receive SMS because of some links. So you have to double check your contents. One way to see or make sure, because you can probably try and play around with the links, like short links, and send it on a longer link, for example. So your content must you must play around with the content or send it to multiple users. For example, maybe you have a family member, you can try sending the short link to another number and then the longer link to another number. So we are aware that we're using Bitly links shortener in the platform, but we're working on a solution for that in version 2.0. Um, but yeah, just try to isolate your issues with the SMS content that you have, particularly with those links included. Right. Okay. So next is check your messages for non-GSM characters. Now, we're not really saying that having non-GSM characters is not allowed. You can actually send that anytime you want. But the thing is, um, it might cause you some issues. And what I'm talking about is, for example, you're gonna send a message here, and non-GSM characters, by the way, are characters that's not accepted in sending out an SMS. Like, for example, these characters, like trademarks, right? Those are non-GSM. But we do have a non-GSM checker here in the platform, as in the Smart Tools. So if I go here in Smart Tools and then non-GSM character checker, if I click this, so I just copy the message here, and it would tell me which one are the non-GSM characters. That way I can delete them, right? So it's highlighted. And the reason why this could be an issue is, for example, you have a message here that's 700 characters long, And if I send a message, um, right here, for example, it would show me this message. So instead of reading the message 60 character per segment, any SMS that includes one or more non-GSM characters will be charged one credit for each 70 character segment. So if you have like a 700 character message here, right? Instead of like considering it four messages when you send it out, it would now just be divided into 70 characters per segment, which is now going to be a total of 10 messages per one recipient. And that could be a flag to other carriers. So you really must be careful on checking out those character segment, non-GSM character, I mean. So if you get this error, just go ahead and use our non-GSM character checker to make sure. Right. So next up is active dual SIM card phones can cause confusion in gateway. So there are some instances that if you have dual SIM card phones, I mean, you can use dual SIM card phones. It's just that make sure that the other SIM card is not active because it might cause issues when you're sending out SMS. If you go here in multiple device sender and gateway, you would actually see that here the devices would show double with the SIM card. It would identify it, and when you send out a message, it might get confused in which SIM it's using because it's technically not able to read the SIM at all. It's just the phone number. So just make sure, just to double check or really 100% sure that you won't have any issues. Just make sure you disable that second SIM. Right. Next one is check gateway API settings for webhook. Now this is specifically in receiving messages. So if you go here in your gateway and gateway API, you would find that link here. So this should be the link. This is the link for you to receive the message in the decentralized dashboard. Without this link, even though you can receive the message here in the gateway, right? You would see that here in received. But if the link here is non-existent, you would not receive the message in your SMS decentralized dashboard right here, which is you're normally going to receive it from here, right? In the bubble or here in the SMS chat. So make sure that the link is this one. I'm going to include this in the description in the YouTube video that I'll be uploading with. And sometimes this happens because probably you reinstalled the app or maybe you're connecting an integration like, for example, Go High Level. We usually change the webhook URL here with the Go High Level link, and you might be wondering why you're not receiving the messages here anymore because it's all because of the link not being updated. So this is the link again, and I'll be putting that up in the description. All right. The last one is relink phone number to AI control panel if unable to receive SMS. Now, um, we've talked about not being able to receive the message here, and this also goes for customers who are having issues with the keywords. And most of the time, they always say that the keywords are not working here in groups keywords, and the most common reason is because technically you're really not just receiving the message at all in the decentralized dashboard. And you would know because when they text the keyword, right, for your example, your customer sent a keyword, you would know that it's receiving here in the gateway, but they're not able to join or not able to get that auto respond, right? But you're wondering why you're not able to receive it in the decentralized dashboard at all. So that means it's not really just a keyword issue. It's technically you're not really receiving it at all. That's the first thing that you have to think of. Make sure that you're really receiving the message in the decentralized dashboard. Because if you are able to receive that here in the gateway, you're supposed to receive that here in the decentralized dashboard as well. So that could isolate your problem. That's the best way to isolate your problem. That if you're able to receive it here but not here, then you can already deduce that there's a connection problem between the gateway, the decentralized dashboard, I mean, to the gateway. And how you can fix that is really simple. You just relink your phone number into um, the decentralized dashboard or AI control panel. And how to relink that is you just go to Get Started here and click on SMPP Connect Third Party Gateway and click on Numbers and click on Release All Numbers. I'm just going to copy this one first. This number. And I'm going to release all numbers. So as you can see, it's turned to 0, right? And for me to relink, is just go to the gateway and go to link gateway to decentralized dashboard. And I just put on the phone number here. I'm from the Philippines. 60. The account for this is this one, email, and I connect it. Sending and send. So now if I go back to the dashboard, it should show up my phone number. So what you need to do first is to just test out if the receiving works. And you can do that by just sending a number, I mean a message on it on your own number here. So like this one. Manual, and I send a message into my own number here. 6396025 and just a test message. That's it. And if I send a message here, if I'm able to receive that here in the gateway, right, the test, then I should also be able to receive that from this bubble right here. So let's test it out. All right, so I actually had to switch up accounts because my other phone was not working, but um, the one that we tested earlier when sending out a message, so you should receive that here, right? So this is the one that I tested out, testing for webinar. And I should also receive that here in the decentralized dashboard, which is here, testing for webinar, this bubble. Can also be found here in SMS chat. So testing for, right. So that also means that your keyword issue should be resolved because again, it's just really about being able to receive that keyword in the decentralized dashboard because that's where we set up your keywords group. That's where it's going to get triggered right here. So it's important that you should check your receiving on the decentralized dashboard first, because that might be just the only cause of the keyword not working. All right. So relinking again, relinking your phone to the uh, AI control panel. That's the last update that we have, and this also works if ever you're updated your app, because some on the previous video that I've shown in connecting your phone, uh, I mentioned there that your app version might be an old one. And if you just reinstall a new one, that could cause issues in sending and receiving, or just receiving technically. So you might want to relink your phone to a number to the AI control panel. And again, those are the steps that you need to do. And that's about it. If you need further help, you can always send us an email, have us a chat, and we can always help you all the way. And that would be all. Thank you, and I hope you have a good one. Take care. Bye bye.